How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting. Welcome back to Muv-Luv Monday, where things got spicy. So we're getting ready for a big offensive on the beta, which is good, needs to happen, but there's a lot of questions going on. Specifically, Marimo was called into question, specifically because, like, while she is working with Yui, aka Maya, and they're really focused on this idea that, like, humanity needs to band together, stop fighting each other, and focus on the beta. But for some reason now they're not so sure. Maybe because the High Chancellor or His Excellency is suddenly like, yeah, let's go fight the beta ASAP. And so Marimo's now like on the backpedal a bit, saying like, well, wait, we probably need more time to prepare for this. Why are you so eager all of a sudden? And they call her in to see Makabe, and they have a very stern talk, and it ends up with her drawing her gun, Takaru stepping in front of her, and she being arrested. So yeah, spicy. Spicy is the word of the day. So not sure what we're going to be having happen today, but it's really setting the stage for some insane insanity already. So I have no idea what's going on. Also, it's just interesting to see a Takaru who is so detached. But I had a thought. I don't think this is the case, but it got me thinking after last episode. I was thinking about it like later that day, and I remembered we have a whole side story with Mr. Cool Sunglasses guy with the robotic arm, and he has a whole thing about how he can like ferret out these people who became like these sleeper puppets. Remember, it was some kind of like beta-based technology that could like influence the enzymes of a person internally and turn them into like subversive agents without their knowledge, essentially kind of altering the way that they thought about things and kind of influencing them to like be sleeper agents where like when certain conditions were met, they would then like have a sudden urge to kind of go to a certain place or do a certain thing. And that way they could use them to extract information or to like get into places that have top security and then, get them out. And in that story, like the main character guy, like whenever he gets like flustered and aroused, he would like trigger like spontaneous reactions out of people who were infected with this thing. But is it too far stretched to say that obviously if that existed in that universe, which I believe that was a spinoff of Alternative Universe, but that technology could still be in here, I was like, maybe Takaru is just under the influence of something like that. Like they used that technology to influence his personality. That's a happy answer for a very depressing result, but I can hope, right? But more likely we're looking at a Takaru who's got nothing to lose and, probably just doing something's broken in him, it feels like. So maybe we'll figure that out soon, but we'll get to that when we get to it. For now, let's see what director Sendo is going to be up to. As we know, he's a very big believer in the Royal Guard, but let's see what he's up to. Oh.
Yuzuka.
Okay, that makes sense. She did say she was going to like try and like make amends.
突然押しかけてくるとは。
相変わらずお忙しそうですね。
要件は何かね。
いろいろあります。ですが、何を置いても突然家を飛び出してそれっきりになってしまったことをお詫びしに参りました。
I think I said this before, but like, I think it's a good rule of thumb just to clarify that like it's always ideal to be able to have, foster, repair your relationships with family, with loved ones in general. Just it's always good to do. But you also don't need to feel obligated to forgive and to move past trauma or abuse or even just emotional mishandlement of family, no matter what. Like, you have a toxic family, sometimes they can't grow out of that, and that's okay to just cut away from your life. Like, and I think it's hasty to impose the ideals of like, well, cling to your family, at least you have them. I think it's hasty to push that, but at the same time, it is a lofty and I think a worthy goal to try and help people build bridges and reform connections. So I'm happy that this is going on because Yuzuka's choosing to do this. Now, she had pressure from exterior, but you notice it wasn't the pressure of the squad saying, hey, you should make up with your dad. it was her thinking about it after their kind of intervention and her realization of like her near-death experience and what it meant to be like like she had like in those final moments when she realized she really could die in like the next 30 seconds. And she had a kind of a reckoning, and she realized that there was a lot of stuff that she kind of regretted that she hadn't done. Being honest with Hibiki and probably being honest with her father. And so I think that that's kind of what brought her around ultimately, was just kind of that realization that like, yeah, she really does want to like make up with him at least a little bit.
その説はご心配をおかけして申し訳ありませんでした。
どういう風の吹き回しだ？
きちんとけじめをつけようと思っただけです。私とお父様の距離がそう簡単に縮むとは思っていません。でも踏み出さなければ始まりもしませんから。
I love that saying. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
ところで、先日 F15 が数機納入されてきました。いろいろと
近々さらに追加になるだろう。1週間以内には知らぬ1個中隊分が置き換えられるはずだ。
Oh, nice.
それだけあれば当面は整備に困らないと思う。
はい、ありがとうございます。
ところで、先のノーラッド奪還作戦では重傷を負ったと聞いているな。
ええ、核爆発に巻き込まれ全身に火傷を負いました。
核？やけど。
Hey.
大丈夫なのか？
Listen, look at that. He's been super stoic. Even this whole like, oh, I heard you got injured. Barely like keeping that cool persona going because he's like, well, she's here and she's alive, so she's probably fine. But now he's like, wait, a nuke? How are you? Are you sure you're okay?
見ての通りです。でもご存知だったんですね。てっきり興味がないものだとばかり。
Come on, read his body language, though. You got the truth here.
ないわけがあるか。いや、見舞いには行きたかったのだが、どうしても面会時間が合わなかったのだ。
Finally, we got through that stupid shell.
どうした？
いえ、今までならお父様の言葉に反発していたでしょう。ものの10分すら捻出できないのかと。
She's actually crying. But now she's like...
でも今なら理解できます。その10分のために場合によっては前後何時間もの調整が必要なのだと。お父様のような立場の方だからこそその調整が難しいということも理解できます。
理解してもらえて嬉しいよ。
That's good. This is good. I'm seeing a lot of more positive here than I even initially predicted.
私もいろいろと。
この通り、私は元気ですからご安心ください。
うん。
では、今日はこれで失礼します。また来ます。私が
JFK ハイブ攻略戦か。
はい。作戦後までここにいらっしゃいますよね。
Mm-hmm.
ああ、その予定だ。
では、失礼します。
Well, that was something. That was good.
親子の会話とは程遠いな。だが。
Oh, I don't like all the death flags I'm seeing. Oh boy. Training. Montage. Fighting actual beta, looks like. Oh gosh, are we really gonna be launching this like now? We're getting really close. Oh my gosh, it's February already. Ah! Is this simulator then? Because like that looks like interior hive, but like that's gotta be in simulators. Of course, Valentine's Day. Of course we have something happening on Valentine's Day. Muv-Luv does really like memorable holidays being terrible days in Muv-Luv. Oh.
本当に気をつけて。手柄なんてあげなくていいから無事に帰ってくるのよ。
God, I'm feeling it now, the pressure.
絶対に元気で帰ってきます。
エイス少尉、しずくちゃんのことをよろしくお願いします。
任せてください。しずくには怪我一つさせませんから。
エレンちゃん、無理しなくていいからね。私は自分のことは自分で守れるんだから。
なーに？私の腕前を信用してないってことか？
そうじゃないけど、それで無理してエレンちゃんが大変なことになったらって。
わかった。しずくがどうしてもって言うから、しずくのことは助けずに放っておこうかな。
Yeah, yeah.
それは困ります。エレンちゃんの意地悪。
こらこら、縁起でもないことを言っちゃダメですよ。
Thank you. Somebody else at least knows it's bad luck to throw death flags out like this.
そうだぞ。少しは験担ぎしやがれ。
大神注意。なんで
Ah,
ここに。それに一郎くんも。
hey, Ogami. Oh, I kind of hoped she would be in a state where she could participate again, but maybe she's like literally like it sounded like, oh yeah, that's right. It sounded like she's missing like limbs. They talked about her being on a transplant list though, so I kind of thought that was going to be a thing, but maybe not.
もう心配したんですよ。さっき病院に行ったらいなくなってるんだもん。
悪い悪い。しずくっちを驚かそうと思って、みんなには黙ってもらってたんだよ。
Okay. Stum? Is that supposed to be quiet? Or like, I don't know what that's supposed to be.
それに注意はやめてくれよ。
Okay.
もう軍は引退したんだからさ。
But she has been removed from military service.
驚かせないでください。本当に心配したんですからね。
Ogami.
ごめんな。反省してるから勘弁してくれよな。
今度からしちゃダメですよ。いいですね。
はいはい。分かったよ。
Like, yes, yes.
すでに力関係が逆転してるわね。とにかく、兵士を辞めるのは俺だけで十分だからな。お前たちまでこんな風になるのよな。返事はどうした？はい！よし！それでは、エレン・エイス少尉、ミオの雫少尉、JFK ハイブ攻略に出立いたします。
Oh boy. I'm getting all tingly. Like my fingers.
しずく、ちゃんと帰ってこいよ。
帰ってくるから、一郎くんは施設をお願いね。
ああ、ここは俺が守るから安心して行ってこいよ。
Aw. Rap. Rap.
搭載順の変更はこちらになります。後で機体データにも入れておきますので確認してください。
実機で交換パーツの当たりを出せてないのが気になるんだよな。これ戦術機母艦の中で動かすことできるのか？
大丈夫だ。洋上で編隊飛行訓練があるからそん時にやればいい。
Okay.
不具合があればそこで交換してやるさ。
So we're all gonna be on the carrier, even them. Except you can't fix the TSF right away. The darn thing goes boom in mid-flight.
よろしくお願いします。
さて、すぐ行くぞ。
了解です。それじゃあ注意。失礼します。
The Akusumoto.
ゆずか、エレンとミオノは
式典の前に施設に顔を出してくると、時間には間に合うと言っていたので、間もなく戻ると思います。
それならいいけどさ。
Wish I could have tagged along. Been working non-stop since last night.
立浪注意、少しよろしいですか？
なんだ？
神宮寺少佐のことです。
Uh-oh. Huh. I haven't heard from her since our little cloak and dagger session. Wish I could pay her a visit before the story, but I don't think this was. I didn't think I'd be this swamped with work.
ハワイ移送されたようです。
That's the official story. Like reassigned there?
移動時期でもないのに。
Yeah. Right before a massive operation like this? Timing's off.
実は食料横領事件の事情聴取を受けているという噂が。
少佐がか？
That's ridiculous.
はい。管理局内では公然の噂のようです。そのようなことはありえないと思うのですが。
it was pretty clear in that office, but even from their perspective, it really looks like it's just an excuse.
民衆に与える影響を考慮して真偽が明らかになるまで転勤で話を通すことになっているって。
Stealing from the IGMDF. The idea would never cross the Major's mind. There's no way she's guilty. Anyone who spent even a second working with her would be able to tell, so why is this happening? Yeah, the setup. No, they wouldn't. It's such a dumb idea. The Major... Crap. I need to contact Lieutenant Tsukiyomi and get more information. Forget it. What about this? We're about to sort. I don't have time to dig into this. And besides, Lieutenant Tsukiyomi should be part of Her Highness's escort detachment. I have no chance of reaching her. Not to mention, deep down, I can't shake the feeling there might be some truth to the accusation. Major Jinguji wouldn't give half a darn about the legal niceties if people are starving and in dire need of help.
すいません、遅くなりました。
遅くなりました。注意、間もなく時間です。
ああ。
Son of a bee. All possible times.
どうかしたの？時間前には到着してるわよね。
いや、なんでもない。行くぞ。出征式が始まる。
Maybe I should ask Captain Kamaki? Nah, this kind of information wouldn't find its way back to someone that low on the food chain. Lieutenant Tsukiyomi and the others will be staying behind this time. Crap. Then they have to do something. Dude, you gotta know they're obviously gonna be very aware of the situation.
異星紀元首の地球襲来より33年。この星より御敵どもを払拭せんと、一点視界の人類が奮戦するも、戦局は日を追い、年を追うごとに生産を極め、勇猛果敢な多くの兵士が戦場にその命を散らしていきました。
33 years. This entire war is like I would have been born after the invasion started. Like, that's kind of weird to think about. Like, not like in this time scale, but just in that length. You know, obviously, like, this war is longer than my entire lifespan. And, like, could you imagine, like, the War on Terror, which was kind of a pseudo-war, really? Because it really wasn't like it was full engagement, but it was active engagement. I mean, it was, like, a decade long, but at the same time, like, that's, like, different from total war, which is what this has been. 33 years of total war. And, like, this whole game and the series has always been a very harsh look at, like, the possible realities of, like a prolonged war state like that, like extreme war states, and the sacrifice of things from like government and rights right down to education just being sacrificed because of the necessity of just fight. It's just crazy to imagine that, though.
そして今、ユーラシア大陸は迷没に沈み、かつての太陽は潮の荒野へと変貌し、4カ国にまで縮小した世界は消耗し疲弊しきっております。
Uh-huh.
我々日本人も豊足原の瑞穂の国を追いやられ、大海を放浪し絶念に漂う中、親愛なるアメリカの遊戯により救われました。
So they're here.
今人類はまさに水防の瀬戸際にあると言えます。本日、同胞の血潮で染めた日の丸を背負い、天命に聖戦されたる4カ国兵士の一員として、人類共闘の御旗を掲げて、永年の宿願たる異星紀元首相当の任務を果たすべく、タコマを出立することは、史上の光栄にして、感激至極の心境にあります。また、戦場に赴く我らのため、征夷大将軍閣下より慈愛あふれるご訓示を頂戴し、皆様に激励されたるは、神帝よりの歓喜を隠すこと叶いません。
You gotta admit, that's pretty impressive that, like, Ikaruga would be like, I will personally be on the battlefield, you know? He doesn't have to. He could easily just skip that. But, I mean, and I do think, like, while I have a lot of, like, about him and his entire organization and, like, the crazy stuff they're doing and the things they've justified, it's, again, one of those things where it's like, if I were in his shoes and had the information he had, I don't know if I would have chosen differently. I would have hated myself for it, but I probably would have done something similar. And I have to admit, like, a really good indicator of a good leader is one who would never ask of others what they would not be willing to do themselves. So yeah, he's going to be going in. He's going to have top tier support. He's likely not going to have to be on a spearhead motion where he's going to be like literally in this like the most dangerous place. But you got to remember, this is beta we're talking about. Everything that is going to be anywhere near this fight is going to be dangerous. So the fact that he's planning to be here, he's putting his money where his mouth is. I got to give him that.
タコマの地より遠く離れるにあたり、我々日本帝国軍は帝国臣民と UFO 参加国の国民に以下を宣誓します。一つ、我々帝国軍は UFO 参加国と連帯し、違法放流の働きに恥じぬよう、剣的必殺の覚悟とともに戦野に赴くことを宣言する。
Gotcha.
一つ、我々帝国軍は出征の使命を慎んで包帯し、堅忍不罰の既婚を胸に JFK ハイブに救う異星起源種どもを必ずや滅殺せんことを宣言する。一つ、我々帝国軍は必ずや生還し、この地において骨肉崩壊と再開することを宣言する。
Good promises, but my thought would be if standing on that deck, be like, it's great lofty words, but they're words, and they feel quite hollow.
英霊たちもご承覧あれ。我ら、時の声を上げ、いざ勇敢。遠征出立に際し、我らが決意の一端をここに開示し、これをもって当時とする。日本帝国本土防衛軍、シアトル駐留軍第一戦術機構連隊、第一戦術機大隊隊長、小牧久代。
Oh, I interrupted her. I'm sorry.
おーいしずくエラー絶対に帰ってこいよしずくお姉ちゃんエレンお姉ちゃん元気でね辰波仙道少尉絶対に戻ってこいよ
It's got to feel psychologically relieving to be able to scream at the top of your lungs what you want to happen.
佐藤金白無茶すんじゃねえぞ辰波ゆずっちエレンち怪我すんなよしずくっち待ってるぞ待ってるからな素の村魂だぞ絶対諦めるなよ
しずくちゃんエレンちゃん辰波注意仙道少尉ご無事にお戻りください
I don't know why I'm getting all choked up at this, but it is getting me choked up. It's like it's such a weird one to get to me, but it's getting to me.
絶対に生きて帰ってこいよ頼むぞいってらっしゃい
これでこの絵及び帝国軍の遠征部隊はすべて出撃いたしました。彼らの優先に期待しましょう。我らも戦地に赴きたかった。
心得違いされるな。我らの用務は殿下の護衛である。狩りが許される立場ではないぞ。
貴様たち、例の件はどうなっているか。
神宮寺少佐の行方はまだつかめておりません。
タコマには藤原かなえ卿が居残られるようですが、隙は生まれるはずです。
Mm-hmm.
殿下、申し訳ございません。神宮寺少佐捜索に関しては、進展なしとしか報告できませぬ。
そなたたちに任せます。神宮寺少佐は。
She's been missing for a while.
宿舎に戻りましょう。このままここにいて警備の者たちの負担になりましょう。
恵比寿、お車の手配を。
承りました。
戦場にも立たぬ小娘に人々の希望を背負う資格があるのであろうか。
February 15th. We who are about to die salute you. Don't say that! Don't say that! Oh my gosh. Are we playing a game of cards or something?
暇だ。
Oh no, we're just bored.
暇だな。
Got nothing to do. Maintenance work on our TSS still ongoing. Can't even run dives to kill some time. You do sprints on the deck.
JFK に到着すんのいつだっけ？ 14日シアトル出発の18日攻撃開始。覚えとけアホ。おう。ミーティング何時からだっけ？ 2時間後。記憶しておけクズ。
The last session was the multinational joint task force strategy meeting will be held today. At this point, it's basically a formality. No way in heck anything's going to change this late in the game.
酸素あんだっけ？あるよ。その先に行くと気圧は狂ってるらしいけどな。だんだんお前の部下がかわいそうになってきたよ。
Yeah, I agree.
はーい。部下とは仲いいですから。ところでよ、どうなんだ？何が？ごまかすつもりですか？立浪注意。
Uh-huh, sure.
わけわかんねえよ。
He's asking about... He's creeping me out, bro.
いやさ、今回の作戦はかなり厳しいじゃんか。だいたいアメリカ軍ならともかく、フランスやカナダと本当に連携が取れると思ってんのかね。
You know what? I have a feeling that when we all are staring down the beta, like, we're gonna not care who's next to us, keeping us from dying. Like, right now, sure, it's real rough. But once we get there, we all see the common enemy, I don't think it's gonna be that big of an issue.
まあな。それでも数だけは精一杯揃えてくれたみたいだけどな。
Matsukaze's an idiot, and even a broken clock is right twice a day. It's obvious we have neither the strength nor teamwork to pull this off. The IJMDF Seattle contingent has sent a total of 40 TSFs. Most of our troops come from the 1st Battalion, but a few from the 2nd Battalion guys are tagging along. That's about 70% of the TSFs we got stationed in Seattle, which sounds great until someone tells you 5 of those craft are manned by newbie pilots facing their first battle. Oh. Oh no. That's bad. After fighting 3 battles back-to-back, the 7th Battle of Seattle, the attack on the production plant, and the Operation Recapture NORAD, our forces are much weaker than they've been at any point in recent history. The French and Canadians are helping us make the numbers, but we're a multinational task force with a joint chain of command. Miscommunications will happen, and in the chaos of the battlefield, the tiniest mistakes can make the difference between life and death. And the icing on the cake? TSF maintenance is scheduled to continue until we've arrived at the area of operations. So yeah, there's plenty I'm worried about. Yeah, so they won't know for sure if their TSFs are in working order and not be able to test fly them until they're literally right about to go. Whew.
数ね。ま、この絵が参戦するってのは悪くない。あいつらだけ楽してもらっちゃずるいってもんや。
All the fun? What do you mean?
いい機体に乗ってるんだしさ。こうバババンと活躍してもらわにゃあの。
Oh, okay, I get that, but still, it's not like, again, it's one of those things where it's like I can understand his gripes, but at the same time, it's good to have good TSFs. B, they get the best training, so that's something, and they wouldn't be in them if they couldn't like actually do good. So they are some of the best pilots in some of the best TSFs, and then you also got to remember as well that like they're putting their money where their mouth is. I don't agree with a lot of the Royal Guard, and I think the whole royalty rebirth is kind of a terrible idea, essentially, for at least a government. But the fact that they're willing to, like, do what they gotta do and go where they gotta go, it's a point in their favor. The Imperial Royal Guard TSF unit, huh? This time, His Excellency Ikaruga will be assuming direct command over his IRG TSF squadron. His fame precedes him, so I ain't worried whether he can pull his weight or not. Even his reputation was all hype, it wouldn't be that big a deal. Because that guy in the black Takamatsuchi will also be fighting with us.
イカルガ閣下が自ら戦場に立たれるんだ。やってくれるに決まってるだろ。俺さ、なんかあいつ、っていうか、この絵はうさんくさい気がすんだよな。
I mean, he might be a snake, but again, like, he's not the worst leader we've seen.
どの辺がだよ。 そういや、お前日本脱出の時にいなかったっけな。
Oh, interesting. I wonder if he saw something. I wasn't, but I know where he's going with this.
助ける人を選別したって話か。なんだよ、知ってんじゃねえか。ちょっと耳にしただけだ。俺なんかはさ、戦術機に乗って資材を船まで運搬する仕事をやらされてたからよかったけどさ、実際にたまらなかったと思うぜ。港にいる人間を排除する仕事をした連中はさ、まさか民間人に向けて発砲することになるなんてな。撃ったってわめいてたやつは途中で海にダイブしちまったしな。
Interesting. So the person who made the order, like, felt super guilty for it.
事故だってみんな言ってたけど、ありゃそうじゃない。間違いなく自殺だ。どういうことだ？だから言ってるだろう。貨物の搬入に邪魔だった一般人を散らすために発砲したんだよ。最初は空に向けて、効果がなくなってきたら水平射撃だ。命令には従うさ、軍人だからな。でも俺は自殺した奴に同情するね。今までと真逆のことをやらされたんだからな。
We were facing that not too long ago ourselves.
それは多分理由があって。分かってる分かってるって。あれは正しい判断だったし、それに対して恨んじゃいないし、責任をかぶせようとも思ってない。だけどな、そういう判断が下せる人間は気持ち悪いんだよ。
They may not be the good guys, but they might not be the worst guys either. Like, it sucks because, like, I mean, okay, a leader should never ask somebody to do something they wouldn't be willing to do themselves. And I think a good leader also needs to take responsibility for the choices that they make. But the point of being a leader is to make choices that other people can't make, to make calls and accept the consequences of them, because somebody has to. Because if they're not, much worse things are about to happen. And you have to accept the fact that history might not like you for it. And that, if, frankly, unless you are like the victor, that you will be the bad guy. And you also got to make sure you can't let that power get to your head. It's tough, but like, Matsukaze is looking at a black and white. He's looking for a black and white, and I can't say that I see that. I don't like the guy. I think he's pretty terrible. Like, he's done some really terrible things. But I genuinely still can't say, like, I can't say I believe that he was entirely in the wrong.
悪かった。ただ、お前もこの話は知っておいた方がいいだろう。そうだな。ありがとうよ。
Two completely opposite reactions to His Excellency's ruthless orders. Director Sendo was in awe of Ikaruga's grim determination, while Matsukaze is afraid of where going down that road could lead us. But nowadays, everyone's taken a few steps through hell.
ところでよ、お前、仙道とやったんか？
You shut your face.
相変わらず下品だな、お前は。
That's not a no. Is that the most abrupt change in topic in the history of mankind, or what?
そっか。とうとうしたか。あのな。
Looks like he wants to say something.
いや、基本的にはめでたいことだと思ってるよ。おめでとう。よかったな。
I agree.
そいつは、ありがとうよ。みんなにはもう言ったのか？いや、まだだ。
The other squad, like, how, wait, he didn't tell Ellen and Miyono. Why? The whole point was to establish boundaries, and then two, you genuinely think they don't know? Even if Yuzuka hasn't told them, like, in girl talk, do you genuinely think they wouldn't realize that if there are two people in a squad that are dating? Like, it's gonna be obvious to people who know you well, you idiot. And this is the closest Matsukaze's ever come to being nice to me. Well, that, and he genuinely cares about Yuzuka too. I shouldn't complain. It's great to have a bro who's always has your back.
しかしよ、だったら仙道だけでも置いてくればよかったんじゃねえか？そのくらいの無理は言えるだろ、お前。考えた。 考えた上で来てもらうことにした。
なんでだよ。
俺は全員生き残ってほしいと思っている。戦力としてのユズカを外すわけにはいかなかった。
It's an interesting call to make, but I can't agree with it. Plus, you know Yuzuka would be like, screw you if he tried to pull that. Not to mention, Seattle's TSF units are not exactly in great shape. We don't have the luxury of losing a veteran surface pilot like Yuzuka. That would be a significant blow to our forces, one we can't afford to take. Leaving Yuzuka sitting at home would hurt the entire force, not just War Dog.
無茶なこと言ってんな。そもそも作戦自体が成功するかどうか怪しいのによ。
Well, don't count the deaths before they happen, dude. Like, we could at least try.
そりゃ、俺も部下を生き残らせてやりたいさ。でも今回の作戦じゃ、自分が生き残ることで精一杯だ。
Now I do feel bad for your flight.
お前も部下全員をなんて言ってると、仙道を殺すことになるぞ。
ユズカも部下、エレンとミオノも部下だ。ひいきできねえよ。
まだそんなこと言ってんのか。建前はいいんだよ。お前は仙道が一番大事だって結論を出したんだろ。違うか？
違わない。
職場で嫁を見つけたのはいいけどよ。それって職場から嫁を引っこ抜くって話だからな。
Little late for that.
わかってる。でもそれはこの作戦が無事に終わった後だ。この作戦が終わったらユズカの親父さんに挨拶しに行こうとは思っている。
My boy! That's freaking awesome! Oh, Death flags, I hate them, but God, I love that!
いいのかそれで。
おうよ。
あんまり無理しすぎんなよ。
Why?
別に無理なんかしてねえよ。
Man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. I wanna pay Yuzuka back. I don't know if I'll ever be able to settle my debt, but that doesn't mean I ain't gonna try. She's still supporting me to this day. I'm glad I can finally do something for her.
へえへえ、立派なことで。じゃあ俺は会議までハンガーに引っ込むわ。
あ？どうせ暇なんだろ。海でも見てた方がマシじゃね？
向こう見てみろよ。お前の嫁が上がってきたのに無粋な真似できるか。
Yuzuka?
お疲れ様です。夏風注意いいんですか？お邪魔してしまいました。
No.
ああ、いいんだ。もともとそろそろ解散するかって話してたところだった。って、なんかお前顔色悪くないか？
実は少し酔ってしまったようで、それでデッキに出てきたんです。
I hope it's the boat issue.
おいおい、大丈夫か？
ご心配いただくほどのものではないですよ。少し気分が悪い程度ですから。でもボクサーに乗っている時はこんなことなかったんですけど。
Oh no. Oh no. Now I'm worried. No, they obviously must take precautions to make sure nothing like a pregnancy could happen, right? I mean, it's probably just seasickness, right? Even though she's never had seasickness before, right? We're out in the open ocean, state-of-the-art TSF carrier, and all the ship's still gonna sway.
艦に乗るのも久々だからな。しばらく遠く見てのんびりしとけよ。それで収まらないようであれば。
はい。軍医のところに。いい天気ですね。こんなに落ち着いた海で船に乗る日が来るとは思いませんでした。
そうだな。大解放のあれはトラウマもんだよな。
Our TSF carrier sunk. Thank God the Americans were nearby. Without them, the entire European expeditionary force would have bought the farm then and there.
この辺は大気も安定してるみたいだし、ノーラッドみたいな苦労はしなくて済むらしいしな。
そうみたいですね。電波状態も安定してるんでしょうか。
わかんねえな。そもそも発生原因が不明っていうしな。
I wonder what that is. It's almost like a cloud of electromagnetic interference that kind of orbits the planet. That's odd, because normally that's not how electromagnetics works, so it's gotta be something. Maybe it's just supercharged particles in the atmosphere. But why are they staying close? I guess if they're polarized, supercharged particles, they might stick together, but if they're polarized, then they should clump up and like become smaller over time. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff here that they're like alluding to that I just don't know. Bull crap. An aftermath of the G-bombs. Oh, there you go. It's just like anything else. Those darn bombs screwed up Earth's gravity beyond the point of no return. Wouldn't be surprised to hear they effed up the atmosphere too.
作戦うまくいくといいですね。
そうだな。
何なんでしょう。大作戦前にもかかわらず、こんなにのんびりできちゃうのは。
Aww. It's nice hearing her so happy. Like you can even hear it in the voice actor's voice. Like it feels like Yuzuka's never sounded super cheerful most of the time. She had her moments, but most of the time she's very like kind of platitude. Here she just sounds like a girl who's just happy.
気分良くなったか？
はい、おかげさまで。
Aww. Hey, maybe this would be a good time to ask her. It's about time I popped the question anyway.
あのさ。
何でしょうか？
いや、いい天気だなと。
Come on, man, please!
そうですね。お茶とおまんじゅうが欲しくなりますね。
そうだな。で、あのさ、作戦が。
Come on.
作戦がどうかしましたか？
Kind of?
いや、作戦じゃなくてだな。
Just do it!
なんだ、作戦が無事に終わったらさ、ユズカの親父さんに会いに行かないか？二人で。
It's implied now? That's something.
なんとか言えよ。
He's like, oh no! I know that feeling, the clenching of your stomach where you're like, oh no, what have I done? Yes! Whoa. Boys engaged!
緊張した。黙るなよ、焦ったじゃねえか。
すみません。
いやー、もうなんだ、あれだ、戦場に行くより緊張したぜ。軽く死ぬかと思った。
大げさですよ、注意。私が断るわけないじゃないですか。
Life's too short anyway.
ユズカ、ありがとう。俺、頑張るぜ。
はい、私も頑張ります。まずは必ず生きて帰ります。
This game's gonna rip my heart out, isn't it? I can tell already. Oh, it's gonna hurt so bad.
そうだな。
Yeah, we gotta practice. We're about to participate in a fight that will decide the future of mankind. No way we're losing now. Don't say it. Oh gosh. Oh. We'll have to come back alive, hell or high water.
うっしゃ、生きて帰ったらやること多いな。
What are you implying?
やることが多いってハレンチです。
ね、バカ、おい、違うって。やることってのはあれだよ。一緒に部屋借りたりだよ。
Yuzuka.
だから変な勘違いすんなよ。二人で生活するためのものであって、そういうこともいっぱいするかもしれんけど、やらしい方向に取らないでくれって。
I don't know, man. I think you're making it weird.
知りません。もう注意のバカ。
そりゃないだろ
う。It was your mind that jumped straight to the racy stuff, not mine.
悪かった。俺が気を使うべきだった。考えてました。俺も変なこと考えてました。すみませんでした。
Secret technique, instant apology. It's what works for me. An immediate groveling way to apologize I've inherited from my old man, devised especially to butter up my mom, who was infamous for throwing some real scary temper tantrums. It's a bold move, one I was born witness to just 5 times.
嬉しすぎてつい浮かれちまってさ。頼む。
I like how he's apologizing for getting carried away and being so happy that he went the wholesome route, not the lewd route, which is hilarious, because normally it's the other way around and people are freaking out about. quote, my dear departed old man, as long as you apologize immediately, you can get away with anything.
許してあげます。特別ですよ。
Aww. It worked! Oh, you won, old man. Truly a gentleman and a scholar.
悪かった。ありがとな。
喧嘩したまま戦場に行くのは嫌ですから。
おう、そうだな。
そういうことです。
仲良くやらないとな。どの辺に部屋借りるか。将来のことを考えると、部屋数多い方がいいのかな。
Jeez, dude, he's just sailing.
あ、そうだ。そろそろミーティングの準備をしないと。
え？まだ早いだろう。
いえ、重要な作戦ですから、早めに準備をしないと。
She wants to change that subject.
ああ、まあいいけどさ。
She might not be super eager to start a family right away.
さあ、行きましょう。
おい、ちょっと待てって。
This game's gonna ruin my life. Oh. It's not a way that she should have found out about this.
総員傾注
But that's where we're gonna end for today. We'll go over the plan and the start of the operation next week. I really don't like how it is just... You know how when you want to start an engine, you prime it? You know, you pump in a little fuel to get that extra kick to make it so the engine can start cold? You can also prime a story. That's what death flags are. They're primers. They're ways to try and make a point hit home or to make it an emotional loss. Dude, this game is just drowning me. We are swimming in a mire of death. And I'm so happy because so many cool things happened this episode. And it's gonna rip me to pieces. And I am not for it. Ugh. But we'll get there when we get there. Gosh, so that probably means we're almost done with this. Like, we don't... I bet you we don't have more than a few weeks. I don't know though. Maybe they'll have an after story if we do have it after the cover, like maybe a fallout of what happens after this operation. But like, I am really terrified of what's gonna happen on the other side of this. So we'll have to get there when we get there though. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here, especially to the patrons. You're wonderful. Thank you so much. Just continuing to work hard. I'm looking forward. We're seeing a lot of good growth for the channel. It's kind of funny because like a lot of channels normally see growth during the holiday season and then drop off afterwards. I've had the opposite where like I didn't really see a whole lot of change over the holiday, but now afterwards we've actually seen a uptick in like participation and just growth and more people finding the content, which is fantastic. So if any of you happen to be new, thank you for joining us. Welcome. So keep in mind too, like I recently started Yakuza 0, which has been amazing so far. I've got the 2 first episodes up and the second one was super fun. I'm normally a pretty chill person, but that game really brings out the more aggressive side of me, which is an interesting part of me that normally doesn't get expressed. So watching Kiryu smash a man's head into a urinal and me cheering him on whilst doing it is kind of a new feel for the channel. So come over to Yakuza if you want to see a different side of me. Other than that, you know, we got some good content going on. Love Esquire is probably the like least attention, the smallest content we cover. Like Fridays tend to be like smaller content creators or smaller developers. That one's been a really fun series. I think I'm getting close to the end of that one as well, so keep that in mind. It's a great one to go and binge if you want. It starts off, it plays off like it's just going to be this like trashy eroge. It actually has some really like decent writing and character development that like I was surprised by. Like I kind of knew what I was getting into, and I anticipated it to be rather shallow, and it definitely has its shallow moments. But then it'll just take this big plunge into like the 13-foot deep end of the pool, and you're like, oh, okay, I guess we're just here now. Yeah, so I highly recommend it if you haven't checked it out yet, just because it's almost done. It's a smaller series, and I really like helping smaller projects that probably that struggle to get traction. Yeah, I like having them on the channel and highlighting them because I feel like there are hidden gems, and I also want to highlight people who are trying to make new content and new stories, because that's the future of visual novels, you know? And I want there to be a future. I want to believe that there's going to be more stories like Muv-Luv and Steins Gate coming in the future, that we're going to have, that we're not like on the end of the greatest era of visual novels, that we can start a new one, you know? But anyway, I'm just blabbing all over the place now, so thank you so much. Hope you guys have a great day, and until the next video watching me, I've seen me next. I'll see you there.